Good morning and welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. Another week here. Happy President's Day to everyone. Dave Morris alongside Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. We're also joined by Todd Goodman. This gentleman here is Group Sales and Sponsorships Manager, and we'll learn all about that in the next 5 to 10 minutes. But first, this past weekend, you and your crew were participating in the Bart and Nadia Sports Experience.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. We've done this for many years, since the beginning with Bart, and it's great to work with, and it's such a, really is right in our wheelhouse in terms of getting kids active, and not only do we have all of our indoor rowing and kayaking activities, of course there were many other sports that were showcased, and I think it's really appropriate that it's during the Winter Olympics too. Sure. So we're showcasing these Olympic sports, and Bart had a big youth gymnastics event going on, as well as a collegiate event that occurred. So a lot of energy in the Cox Center over the weekend, literally. I mean,
yes.
With these the racing that occurred. So it wasn't just where kids could go through and try all these different things. We actually had a real competition with everything from small kids up to elite athletes, college athletes, high school athletes, corporate rowers, and kayakers, all racing on these machines. 2,000 meters for the most part, which is that's a pretty intense workout, and you're doing it in a
sounds like forever to me.
Yeah, in a big crowd with all of that. I mean, you're pushing yourself to the limit. So you gotta, for those who've been through it, they can really respect what that's like, because it's one of the most intense athletic endeavors that there is when you're going 2,000 meters on a machine like that, and it is and we had a lot of folks that PR'd, they got their personal record, and so maybe it's that environment that helped bring it out. Yeah. So
I'll hop on the rowing machine at the downtown Y, leisurely pace for 10 minutes, and I'm exhausted. Yeah. I can't imagine this, just going for it for 2,000 meters. The Bart and Nadia Sports Experience held this past weekend at the Cox Convention Center. As he mentioned, there was the Saturday event where the families, the fun festival there, which is a good chance for you guys to get some exposure to what happens in the Boathouse District, but also to emphasize that healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely, and we have so many great partners in that effort, from the folks that were there representing many different sports, from, like I said, the tennis programs to cricket to, just kids and parents had ways to try everything, and the idea is just getting our kids active, and maybe they take an interest in one of these sports that they didn't really know about before, and that's what we're there to do. So.
Well, speaking of kids who are active, you were also at the state swim meet this past weekend up in Edmond, and one of the things we'll talk about this week is how some of the athletic skills that they perhaps have developed, student has developed with swimming, can translate into other Olympic sports.
Well, absolutely. Well, of course, swimming is a premier Olympic sport, but with so many kids swimming, and sometimes after high school, they go off to college and maybe they stop swimming. They don't realize that, gosh, those skills that they learned being in the pool could really translate to something else, and so into another sport. And so, especially in Oklahoma City with this Olympic training site that we have, and we're really putting a focus on that talent identification. So again, there's a lot of, there's certain sports where this really works. When rowing, there's this category called novice, which is you can start in college and you row as a novice, so you don't have to have done it since you were, 8 years old. So that makes it a unique opportunity for those athletes, whether it be swimming or other sports, to discover it and perhaps go quite far with it. A lot, actually, if you looked at our Olympic program, there are some of our top Olympians in the sport of rowing that didn't start till they were a freshman in college. One of our more recent gold medalists, who actually is now a coach, who coached here at our High Performance Center, Brian Volpenheim, gold medalist in the 8. He started at Ohio State as a freshman, and then he just made his way. He really connected to the sport and did great. So, of all places in the country, in Oklahoma, with all of our, the amenities that we have with our venue and our coaching, and then all of the other sports that kids excel in, like swimming is a perfect example, that we just want to make sure that parents and kids are aware, and that really ties into this new talent detection initiative that we're going to be launching this spring. Yeah.
We'll learn more about that as the year goes along. Mike Knopp and his crew working with others within the Olympic delegation. But the Riversport Adventure Boathouse District is an Olympic training site. One of the many things that happens there, and at this point we'll bring in Todd Goodman, as I mentioned earlier, manager of group sales and sponsorships, and a lot of private events, facilities, team building, but we'll get into that. Todd, tell us about your job.
Well, and good morning.
Good morning.
As someone who grew up in Oklahoma City, it's just exciting to me every day to get to go to work at the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation and be near Riversport OKC. I think it's something so exciting for the city, and it's something personally exciting for me and my family. We've actually been able to enjoy it before I worked there, and now that I work there, it's great to be a part of it as well.
I've told Mike it's like one of the best offices in Oklahoma City. You know?
I say that actually on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I have the
being in those facilities and
looking
around, it's well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I've always been community oriented, and as you know, we're a nonprofit and focused on Oklahoma building community, strengthening community, and that's something that speaks to the mission of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation, something to me that's always personally been important. So I get to do that on a day-to-day basis and try to make Oklahoma City a better city every day, and it's great to be a part of that.
You can find more information about the facilities and the events at riversportokc.org, and Todd, tell us about that. We mentioned the facilities and the best-looking office, or one of the best-looking offices in Oklahoma City, but you really do have fantastic facilities.
We do, and the nice thing is that people can come and take part in them as the adventures that we're getting ready to open March 17th for weekends. But they can also take advantage of our private event venues. We have venues that can seat as low as 10 to 15 people to over 300 people, especially on Come and Go. We have, in my opinion, some of the best indoor-outdoor space in Oklahoma City right there at the Whitewater Center, which is available when we're not open for regular hours for our private events as well. Just makes for a beautiful setting. The Devon Boathouse obviously is just a gorgeous, and now iconic, I think, piece of architecture for Oklahoma City, but you can rent that for your private events. We have weddings there all the time, birthday parties.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys
trainings.
have weddings, birthday parties, but then we've also talked about corporate training.
Yeah, and
that's right. You know, the corporate, you know, we do a lot of team building. We've talked before, we're going to be launching a leadership institute as well, but the fact that you can come and have a great meeting space and then go out and do something that is bringing your team together on the water, you know, whether it be in a rowing shell or in the ropes course or in a raft. I mean, it's pretty unique. So.
And I'll just touch on a couple of those. So at the Devon Center, we also house the Oklahoma City High Performance Center, which is an Olympic level gym, an Olympic level training center where Olympic hopefuls actually do train. We've had, I think, some 50 Olympians come through there now, which is amazing for Oklahoma City. But we'll begin with a corporate meeting in the Devon Roadhouse, and then you can actually go. We were talking about the Bart and Nadia rowing experience. We actually have a team building experience, which is very similar, where you can kind of, they divvy up on teams and then race each other in a relay.
And I think that's just got to be very unique. I mean, team building and corporate experiences happen all over the globe, all over the nation. But how many have that unique aspect of, okay, now we're going to compete at an Olympic level with Olympic caliber equipment?
Exactly, and then that's only our indoor moment, and then you can actually then go on the river, one of the only night course lit in the world, and then one of the only semi-permanent river courses as well, and actually sometimes get on the water. And then we have another one that we're actually working in partnership with Metrotech downtown, and we're calling it Conquer the Dragon, where it actually has about a curriculum, about 5 hours or so curriculum over the day. We'll give you a little bit of a break at lunch and then put you on the water for our dragon boats.
Cool.
And then come back and do a little bit of a debriefing as well. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is that nationally, there's just not really a facility that puts all of it together. He mentioned the ropes course. We have the whitewater rafting, whitewater kayaking, flatwater rowing, dragon boating. All of that is available right here in downtown Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Joe Jacoby, Olympic gold medalist, who we, friend of all of ours who's lived here. He goes around the world and does leadership experiences, but he has created a program for our Whitewater Center specifically for that. So it's something that we're working with him on as well.
All right, very good. Todd, how can people get in touch with you, and who all can get in touch with you for?
Anybody can call me anytime. Of course, I'm available 7 days a week by email at tgoodman@okcbf.org, or they can just call our switchboard 405-552-4040. The sales is actually 4116. We're happy to take your call. We'd love to visit with you about corporate events, team building events, and obviously group sales too. Lots of groups are actually having bachelor and bachelorette parties come out now, but it's a fun family time. And then we have a lot of offices that actually will do kind of a day for their kind of as a reward sometimes during the summer.
That's a good idea.
And give 20 to 30 employees, or do a family or a group picnic for their employees as well, and that's a lot of fun. We're happy to help you with anything.
Cool. More information again on their website, riversportokc.org. And as Todd mentioned, Mike, things get started for reals March 17th.
It's cranking up. It's going to be here before we know it, and we're getting ready. It's going to be a great year. A lot of fun things in stores we've talked about, but a lot of cleaning, a lot of organizing, a lot of power washing going on right now. Yeah. So,
all right, gentlemen, I appreciate the conversation. Good to meet you, Todd.
Very nice to meet you.
Mike, we'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Dave.